The values that I have set for the practice is that we will have accountability, and that's accountability for our behaviours and our performances, and obviously therefore having some documentation around staff performance, and that's accountability mostly hopefully always positive, but occasionally there will have to be negative retraining, and negative shouldn't be that negative, but I suppose if people aren't performing to a certain standard, then we do have to work out why is that. Is that training? Is it attitude? Is it confidence? Is it factors beyond that person's control for that period of time? How can we assist and make that person successful? And how therefore that person can make sure our clients are having the most successful experience with us, and the successful experience for our clients will be that their vision is maximised, their lifestyle is enhanced, they have all the range of visual options that they need available to them to enjoy their lifestyle, sports, their hobbies, their desire to look better at the wedding, to not have tint in that photo, to be able to wear contact lenses, to have a comfortable day working on the computers when they have 3 or 4 days in a row in the office as part of their role, and the rest of the time they're out in the field. To make sure their eyes are protected and healthy, that they have the best possible lenses to perform for the jobs and occupations and lifestyles and hobbies that they conduct. That may be that the best possible option may well be a budget option for some clients, because that's what their finances can allow, and that allows them to still maintain good vision for a range of, if not all of their hobbies, at the best possible optimal performance, but enough for a vast majority of their hobbies and daily functioning, so that they are able to enjoy doing many things, that they are able to perhaps engage in education and enhance their life in general, or just enjoy the last years of their twilight years as an elderly person. So I do not want people to move away from our vision and values. Our vision and values is core to our message, that we need to be accountable, that we need to be providing the best customer service. That customer service needs to be individual, specific. It might be providing the best possible coating on the lens for scratch resistance for someone who's hard wearing, but providing it in a budget frame with a low cost lens. Otherwise it might be, so it's customising every feature of what we do so that people can have the features and therefore the benefits of their eyewear and vision that allows them to make the most of their world. So to go through the spreadsheet, I want to make sure people understand that the spreadsheet is flexible. It changes from fortnight to fortnight depending on the business needs of how many optometrists on and how many consulting days. So let's go through that. So first of all, what we'll see here is that there is a number of factors on the spreadsheet. We have the rostered hours per fortnight. We can sort of see from the rostered hours per fortnight for the staff member, there'll be so many might be allocated for training. They might be away for a day's training. There might be a couple of hours allocated for staff meetings. There might be a few extra days associated with lab time. There might be project time. They might have trip travel time. They may have management responsibilities or other duties, such as projects, such as they might be related to buying or health safety review or IT or training staff members, or being involved in reviewing some policy, or whatever the particular project is, so that we can have some offset. We don't want to get too nitpicky around, I spent 15 minutes doing this or that, but so that we're being relatively equal and fair, because an accountability is important. Then obviously within that, so that we can roster for things, they may be on annual leave, so they may well be paid for 76 hours in that fortnight, but of that, one was a public holiday and 4 days were annual leave. They still need to get some targets, but obviously it's a bit hard to expect them to be away. At this point I'll clarify, if someone is sick They don't get their budget reduced. That's just one of those things. The business still had to pay someone for being sick. So their targets are obviously reduced accordingly. You don't get paid bonuses for being sick. However, the other thing, so all of those things add up for each individual staff member. We can sort of see that there's some examples there of 60 hours in a fortnight or 76 hours in a fortnight, and how much was allocated to training or management time, and how much therefore we expect on the floor to be done. Basically, a quick summary there. We'll actually see with that spreadsheet, it is based on obviously things like how many consulting hours are available from each optometrist. For here, for instance, if I put in additional consulting hours for the optometrists, you will see that, and change it from say 9 to 10 consulting days in a fortnight, you'll see that the numbers of our budgets and so forth do change, and the overall targets do change. Etc. So the targets are multiple pairs. That's how many to achieve our targets. Dispensing values, sunglass total values, frame units, spectacle lens averages. These are the things that we can be measured on reasonably easily, and they do obviously help to improve they reflect the behaviours that will mean that clients on average will be offered a range of options to suit their lifestyle needs, and explain the benefits of those. I do want to make a point about explaining benefits. It's not just about putting clients obviously into the best possible lens. You need to be able to justify to the client for their particular circumstance why that best possible lens is for them. They've got a family history of macular degeneration, and they've got a coating on those to reduce the risk of developing macular degeneration, and even though it's something they can't see and it's an invisible factor, it's something that we know in future years will provide benefits for their vision and health. That's something we can't just go, oh, we're going to put that in because it's going to be good for them. We need to put that in and explain why we've put in, what extra features, what are the benefits for them, and how is that going to be delivered, because otherwise they won't see the value in what we've actually, they may benefit from it, but they might not understand how they're benefiting from that particular lens over another one you may have selected. So the next ones are all team behaviours. They're still measured individually, but they are sort of a team effort. We're going to do OCTs and conductors. Should be easy to get for most people if they're taking a share of taking the time up and doing those ones and being rostered to do that as well. Pre-tests, being able to sell those. OCTs is really, it's very easy to do if you're following the guidelines. If you're finding that someone's got a history of macular degeneration, or that they've got a family history of glaucoma, or the person has had macular degeneration problems in the past, it's obviously going to be much more efficient for the client and for the optometrist to have those scans available so they can discuss and get the client comfortable and alleviate concerns about what's happening with their vision up front before they start having to worry about how their vision has changed in other ways. As soon as the clients can be reassured about things, the more comfortable and more positive their experience should be. Fortnightly budgets. If we move on to retail ready, that's been about the place being clean and uncluttered, and things are being kept in a neat and proper order. Things are being filed away. We're not leaving displays empty. There's a checklist associated with that, but again, it's about everyone pulling together to make sure things are done properly, to make sure the place is presented well and people have a nice experience. Behaviour focus, that's a really positive one I've put in there. Whether that is finding out how our advertising is being effective, whether finding out things like we're going to change the script we're going to use for answering phone calls, or that we're going to promote some new product that we think is going to be very beneficial to people in the area because of the sun exposure, whether that is getting a new habit around doing something differently for our health and safety reasons, whether that is explaining a product better, differently, whatever that is, it will be there so that we can get in the stage where we develop new good habits that will be positive for our clients and the business. Attendance and training should be fairly straightforward, and obviously the trained skills, people should be able to get their skills into use as you develop had a training, then you following it up, using those skills to you become competent. And that's showing good endeavours to do that. That doesn't mean you have to get it right the first time. It means that you have to be showing very good progress in getting the target of a new skill developed, and that if you're having trouble, you're seeking the right support to get that sorted out and assisted so that you can become competent quickly.